Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jules, and we are about to talk about my June reading plans. I feel like I say this every month, but how is it already June? So I do not have the physical copies of all of these books because some of them I have on hold at the library and they aren't here yet, or I might be doing audio for them, so I will pop up a picture if I don't have the physical book. So I typically like to start with what readathons I'm doing. I only have a few this month. So I've got a Screaming Color that is June 22nd to June 23rd. That is on Gabby's Patreon. And for this month, we are doing the color Purple, which I'm very excited about because I love purple. Then there is a Little Classics readathon that Liv, Kendall, Rachel, and Elizabeth are doing. And that is June 24th through June 30th. And they're going to be reading Pride and Prejudice. I have never read that before. So since that is a week-long readathon, I don't have my TBR plan for that. I just know that I will be reading Pride and Prejudice with them. And I'll probably just, whatever else is on my list around that time that I'm reading, I will read it for. So the biggest readathon that I'm going to be doing this month is for Gwen's Patreon. We are doing a Survivor Challenge. So I cannot give you specifics of that because, well, one, I don't know any specifics of it really. And two, it is privy to her Patreon that is at that level. So we do have teams and it's going to be like their Survivor, obviously. We got to roll dice, we got to move spaces, we got to read books to get to the challenge area, and then she'll give us challenges. And I'm just super excited for it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I do suggest checking out Gwen's Patreon. Obviously, our teams are already picked and we're getting ready to start. So nobody that comes in through the month is going to be able to join in that. But she also does have, we have a book club, a monthly book club. So we read, a book, and she has a lot of other things going on, and there's a Discord. So I will put her link below so you can check that out. So that is it for my readathons. I'm not going to add any more probably. I got to reel it in. Next, I want to talk about the book club picks that I'm going to read. So for Jessie Sleep When I'm Dead book club, we're going to be reading Anna O by Matthew Blake. As far as I can tell, this is his only book. I mean, at least when I pull him up on Goodreads, this is it. So obviously I've not read from him before. So quick synopsis. What if your nightmares weren't really nightmares at all? We spend an average of 33 years of our lives asleep, but what really happens and what are we capable of when we sleep? It says she stabs 2 people to death with no apparent motive, and she hasn't woken up since. It's dubbed the Sleeping Beauty by the tabloids. So she has a rare psychosomatic disorder known to neurologists as resignation syndrome. I don't really want to know much else about it, except that's just kind of the gist of what it's about. So we will see how that goes. Also for Jessie's Paw Print Pals, that's her membership that you can join. We are reading Everyone is Watching by Heather Gutenkopf. It looks like she has several books. I'm looking down because I'm looking at Goodreads. I've only read one book by her, and that was The Overnight Guest, and I gave it 5 stars. So I will probably enjoy this. This says the best friend, the confidant, the senator, the boyfriend, the executive. 5 contestants have been chosen to compete for $10 million on the game show, one lucky winner. The catch, none of them knows what or who to expect, and it will be live streamed all over the world. It is going to be held in a secluded estate in Northern California. There's strict instructions not to leave the property and 0 contact with the outside world. So competitors start to feel a little isolated, secrets begin to rise to the surface, and they begin to realize it's no longer a reality show. Someone is out for blood. Sounds interesting. So hopefully I will like it. Then for Liv's book club, we are going to be reading One Perfect Couple by Ruth Ware. I have read a couple of books by Ruth Ware, and they were just kind of okay for me. So I have read It Girl and The Turn of the Key. I rated them both 3 stars, but The Turn of the Key was probably closer, a high 3. A couple of my booktube friends have said that they really love her, so I feel like I'll probably give her a couple more books to see if you know, how I jive with them. And then if they're not great, I don't know that I would read from her again. And then for Kendall's Patreon, we are reading Dreadful by Caitlin Rozakis. I'm not sure that's how you say that. It looks like this is a debut novel. So this is her first book, it looks like. And the synopsis says, this is a sharp-witted high fantasy farce featuring killer moat squid, toxic masculinity, evil wizards, and a garlic festival. I'm not sure about the high fantasy part. Like, I am not a big, I'm just like a mid fantasy girl right now. Like, I'm just starting to climb that ladder. It's bad enough waking up in a half-destroyed evil wizard's workshop with no eyebrows, no memories, and no idea how long you have before the dreadlord whomever shows up to murder you horribly and then turn your skull into a goblet or something. It's a lot worse when you realize that dreadlord whomever is you. It says Gav isn't real sure how he ended up with a castle full of goblins or why he has a princess locked in a cell. All he can do is play along with his own evil plan in hopes of getting his memories back before he gets himself killed. So I'm intrigued. We'll see. We'll see. And then the final Patreon read I'm doing is for Gwen's Patreon. And we are reading The Last Murder at the End of the World by Stuart Turton. I have not read from this author before, but look at the book and those sprayed edges. I love it. It says, outside the island, there's nothing. The world was destroyed by a fog that swept the planet, killing anyone it touched. On the island, it is idyllic. 122 villagers and 3 scientists living in peaceful harmony. The villagers are content to fish, farm, and feast, to obey their nightly curfew, and to do what they're told by the scientists. Until, to the horror of the islanders, one of their beloved scientists is found brutally stabbed to death. And then they learn that the murderer has triggered a lowering of the security system around the island, the only thing that was keeping the fog at bay. If the murder isn't solved within 107 hours, the fog will smother the island and everyone on it. But the security system has also wiped everyone's memories of exactly what happened the night before, which means that someone on the island is a murderer and they don't even know it. Sounds interesting. This is the inside. Is that so pretty? So it's just a little map of the island and what it looks like. So I am excited to read this one for our book club. So next, let's talk about some of the vlogs that I have planned. So for the month of May, for Mother's Day, I did a mother theme vlog where I read books with the word mother in the title. So since Father's Day is in June, I'm going to be doing a vlog where I read books with the word father in the title. It is a lot harder to find books with the word father. Well, and let me take that back. It's a lot harder to find interesting books with the word father in them. There's a lot of books out there with the word mother or mom or whatever in them, but not so much the word father. So the first one I'm going to pick up is called The Good Father by Diane Chamberlain. I have not read any books by this author. She obviously has been around for a while and has a ton of books, but I just have never picked anything up by her. So let me know if you've read any books from this author. Synopsis of this says, 4 years ago, 19-year-old Travis made a decision to raise his newborn daughter on his own. While most of his friends were out partying and meeting girls, Travis was at home changing diapers and worrying about keeping food on the table. He's never regretted his decision. Bella is the light of his life. So far, she's fed, cared for, safe, but when Travis loses a construction job and his home, the security he's worked so hard to create for Bella begins to crumble. Then a miracle. A job in Rala has the power to turn their fortunes around. It has to. But when Travis arrives, there is no job, only an offer to participate in a one-time criminal act that promises quick money and no repercussions. With nowhere else to turn, Travis must make another choice for his daughter's sake, even if it means he might lose her. So, from what I can tell on Goodreads, there have been several people that rated this very high, so I hopefully will enjoy it. The second book I'm going to pick up for that vlog is called The Father She Went to Find by Carter Wilson. I also have not read any from this author. Let me know if you have. This was just recently published in April of this year. A road trip to find closure or a reckless chase that could turn deadly. Penny has never met anyone smarter than her. Despite her photographic memory and superpowered intellect, there's one mystery Penny's never been able to solve. Why did her father leave when she was in a coma at age 7, and where is he now? On her 21st birthday, she receives a card in the mail from him, just as she has every year since he left. But this birthday card is very different. For the first time ever, there's a return address and a goodbye. Penny doesn't know the world beyond her mother's house and the special school she's attended since her unusual abilities revealed themselves. But the mystery of her father's disappearance becomes her new obsession. So says she's going to decide to leave home and break free of everything and use her gifts to answer the questions that have eluded her. What she doesn't realize is she might not be able to outsmart a world far more complicated and dangerous than she'd ever imagined. So it sounds like she's very sheltered and she's heading out and she's going to find out what the real world's like. Also has pretty good ratings. Almost, it's got 3.98 on Goodreads. And then the last book I'll pick up for this vlog is The Father by John Nichol. I also have not read anything by this author, but I do have one book tagged that I want to read, which is The Cellar. So obviously I found a book of his to seem interesting. It says, 30 years ago, Anthony was a 7-year-old boy trapped in Dr. Galbraith's, I don't know if that's how you say that, basement. Now he's a journalist, a husband, and a father, but no matter how far he's come, at times he's still that scared little boy. In order to save his marriage, he has to stop hiding from what happened and deal with it once and for all. But digging into the past holds dangers Anthony never imagined. So an author note on this says, while this is a fictional book, it was inspired by true events. That's intriguing for me. I do like that. So also has good ratings. It looks like it's got 4.7 stars on Goodreads. So yeah, so all of these seem like they're rated very good. So that should be a great reading vlog. So I will be doing that and I will have that out around Father's Day. So keep your eye out for that if any of these books sound interesting. And then I am going to do a vlog where I'm reading books outside of my comfort zone. So the books I'm planning on reading for that is Shark Heart, A Love Story by Emily Hayback, and Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. These are two books that I don't think I have any interest in reading, but again, I can't find out about good books out there if I don't read books that I might not normally pick up. So we will see how that goes. I'm also planning on doing a like jump into summer type vlog that I've actually already started. I've already read Just for the Summer was in that. And then the other two that I will be reading in that vlog is The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren and People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. A few fantasy books that I want to get to. One of them is Sarah J. Maas, Empire of Storms. I will probably save this for Gabby's Screaming Colors since it's purple, but it's so big. I may have to start it like ahead of time. I don't know. But I am reading the Throne of Glass series with Chloe, and there's a Discord for it. It's Trash for Maths, and we are reading one book a month, and I am having the best time with this series, so I'm excited to keep going in it. Another one I'd like to get to this month is Powerful by Lauren Roberts. This also does have a little bit of purple in it, so I could use that, like the thread is purple, so I could potentially read this for that because I do think that's going to be a lot faster. So this is the continuation of Powerless, which I really did enjoy that. And then another one I want to get to that I keep putting off, like my Libby hold comes due and I keep like backing it up. So I may just keep backing up. I don't know. I keep having other things I want to read or get to, and so I just don't get to it. It's not like at the top of my priority. And that is Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I did love Divine Rivals. I had a great time with it, and I do want to continue this. It's just not at the top of my priority, but I'm going to try and get to this one this month. And then just another random one I picked up from the library was One Left Alive by Helen Pfeiffer. So I recently read an e-arc of Her Lost Soul by this author, and I really enjoyed it. And she has a lot of different detective series. And so this one, One Left Alive, is the first in a Morgan Brooks series. And it actually sounded pretty good. So it says, when the body of a woman is found hanging from a tree in her front garden, rookie detective Morgan Brooks is the first on the scene. But Olivia Potter is past saving. And when her husband and daughters cannot be traced, Morgan knows there is more to this tragedy. And then she finds them lying huddled together in the dark basement, each of their faces covered with a small cotton cloth, their bodies cold to the touch. But as Morgan kneels beside the family, she realizes that one of the girls is still breathing. As she holds Bronte's fragile hand in her fingers, begging her to hold on, she vows to find out who has done this. Every day, Morgan wakes up at 4:25 a.m., her old insomnia now mixed with a new fixation on the case. But every clue about the murdered family leads to a dead end until, trawling through old files, she discovers a link to a cold case from years ago. Another family was murdered in this house and the killer was never caught. Anyway, it just sounded really good. So I do want to kind of start checking out some more detective books. And hopefully I enjoy this one. And hopefully I can get to this one this month. Now, to save the best for last, let's talk about the cozies that I'm going to read this month. I'm going to read Sprinkle with Murder by Jen McKinley. I am actually going to buddy read this with Wendy and Leah Beth. We did a buddy read last month. Enjoyed it. So we're going to continue with our little cozy buddy reads. The books for my mother's shelf. I'm going to pick up The Uninvited Corpse by Deborah Sedenfelder. Class Reunions Are Murder by Libby Klein. Assault and Pepper by Leslie Budowitz. And I don't think I have read from any of these authors before. So we will see how I like them. So keep an eye out for that vlog this month. And let me know if you've read from any of these authors. And then the last set of books I'm going to do, I'm going to do another vlog for Cozy Mysteries. I'm sure you're going to guess the theme as soon as you see it. I'm going to read Murder at the Blueberry Festival by Darcy Hannah. Look at it, so cute. Strawberry Lane by Jodie Thomas. The last one I'm going to pick up is Mango Mambo and Murder by Raquel Reyes. This has a glossy cover on it, so I'm not sure you can see it. Oh, that's not bad. All of those obviously have fruit on them. So I am doing a fruit-themed cozy vlog. That is what I have on my list to read in June. Obviously, this is not a set TBR. This is just things that I want to get to because, like I said, with the readathon, with Gwen's Patreon for Survivor, I don't know what the prompts are. There's a prompt and we don't have a book for that. We have to find a book for it, or we don't get points if we don't read it. So I may still have to find like an audio or go to the library and find something that I don't have that is not on this list. So this is literally just kind of a mock-up of what I would like to get to. I know this is ambitious, per usual for me. That is par for the course. Wish me luck. Let me know if you have any of these books on your list, if you've read any of these, how you enjoyed them if you have. What are your plans for June? What is your most anticipated read for June? Let me know in the comments below. And until my next video, friends, be yourself, be awesome, be kind.